All right, this is Obey on behalf of V Electronics, and in this video, we'll be looking at factoring. Okay, so factoring is the opposite of expanding. Okay, if you're trying to factor something, you're making it shorter versus expanding, you're trying to make it big. Okay, and some of the applications of factoring when it comes to mathematics include, but not limited to, currency exchange, okay, or foreign exchange, state uh, division, okay, so dividing a state or assets, okay, asset valuation, okay, stock valuation, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some examples. All right, starting with the first one. Okay, this one is 6x plus 6y. Okay, so if you look at this example over here, okay, what we need to do is take the common factors, okay, out of these unknown variables. Okay, so let's say the common factor is 6, okay, and the unknown variables will go in brackets, so x plus y. We know that 6 goes into both of them, so 6 goes outside the bracket, and this will be 6x plus y. Okay, so if you need to find the value of x and y, it's easier this way to isolate x and y to figure out the value of y. So let's say this is 6x plus y equals 0, okay, which means x equals, or x plus y equals 0, okay? Okay, so x equals, okay, negative y, okay, for example, okay? All right, now apart from that, okay, let's look at another example over here. Okay, so 2x squared plus 2. Okay, this is the second example, 2x squared, okay, plus 2. All right, now we know that the common factor over here is 2, the number 2, so 2 goes outside the bracket. This will be x squared plus 1. Okay, so 2 goes into 2x squared once, plus 2 goes into 2 once, x squared plus 1. Okay, and this will be your answer or solution. Okay, all right, let's look at another example. Okay, 3x squared minus 9x. Okay, so we know that we have a common factor over here, which is 3x. Okay, so the number 3 and the variable x. Okay, so 3x goes outside the bracket. Okay, which means 3x goes into 3x squared. Okay, once. And you have x minus 3. Okay, so this will be your solution for this one. Okay, and the way you can double check this solution is by expanding it. When you expand, okay, when you multiply this variable outside the bracket to all the numbers and variables inside the bracket, the solution should be this solution over here. Okay, so let's say this is 3x squared. Okay, so 3x into x is x squared minus 3 into 3 is 9, 9x. Okay, so we have the solution, and the solution is the question that we started off with. Okay, 3x squared minus 9x. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, so let's say this example is 5a squared minus 20ax. Okay, so we're trying to find common factors in here. Okay, so the common number is 5 outside the bracket, and the variable is A. Okay, so 5A, A minus 5 goes into 20 4 times, so 5A minus 4x. Okay, so 5A, A minus 4x is the solution. Okay, all right, let's look at another example. Okay, let's say this one is 3AB squared minus 6AB plus 12AB cubed. All right, so we know the common number is 3, okay, and the variable will be AB. Okay, two variables that are common in all these three over here, okay, which means 3AB will be outside the bracket. Okay, B, all right, minus 2. Okay, so 3AB goes into 6AB twice, plus, okay, 4B squared. All right, so again, this is the solution, and the way you can double check is by expanding it. Okay, to expand, what you're going to do is you multiply whatever's outside the bracket with all the numbers and variables inside the bracket. Okay, so 3AB squared minus 3 times 2 is 6, AB, okay, plus 3 times 4, so number times number first, 4 times 3 is 12, okay, A stays as it is, and B times B squared is B cubed. Okay, so this is the solution, and this is what we started off with over here. Okay, this is how we know that this is correct. Okay, so 3AB squared minus 6AB plus 12AB cubed. All right, that's the solution. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, so let's say this one is A x plus y minus B x plus y. Okay, so we know that the common factors are x plus y, which means x plus y go outside the bracket. So x plus y, or you can even put a bracket for x plus y into, okay, the reason why you put the bracket is because you want to make sure that you multiply both x plus y to whatever's inside the bracket over here. Okay, so let's say the variables inside this bracket, the second bracket, will be a minus b. Okay, all right, so the way this works, when you expand, this will be your first variable times x plus y. Okay, so x plus y into a, okay, minus b. This is your second variable into x plus y. Okay, that's your answer. Okay, so this is how you double check. Okay, let's look at another example over here. Okay, let's say this one is, okay, 4PQ minus 14Q squared minus 16PQ squared. All right. So if you try to find the common factors in this one, okay, we know that 4 goes into 4 ones, but we know that 4 does not go into 14, okay, even though it goes into 16 4 times, okay. Now we know that 2 goes into all these three numbers over here, okay. So let's say 2, okay, and in terms of variables, you have q as a common variable over here, so 2q, okay, goes into 4pq, okay, minus 7. This will be q squared, so q, okay, minus, this is 16, so 2 goes into 16 8 times. So 2 times 8 is 16. And then again, you have the variable p and q. Okay, and you can double check this answer for factoring. So this is for factoring. If you need to factor, okay, this question over here. Okay, so this is for factoring. All right, and you can double check this solution by expanding it. Okay, so if you want to expand it, you multiply, okay, this term over here by each and every term inside the bracket. Okay, so let's say this is 2pq. Okay, now notice what happened over here. This is 4. Okay, which means this is supposed to be 2. Okay, so 2p. So this will be 2, okay, into 2. Give me one moment. Okay, so 4, okay, pq, and we have 4pq over here as well. Minus 7 times 2 is 14, q squared. Minus 8 times 2 is 16, pq squared. All right, so this is basically how you check your solution that you got for factoring by expanding it. Okay, and this is how you factor your equations, your unknowns, your variables, so on and so forth. Okay, on behalf of V Electronics, this is Obey. Have yourself a great day.